Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, your host, Ricky Ricardo Rubberburn, here to bring you all of the thrilling Thrill Nation action. That's right, folks, we're back at it again for week 2 of the A&D Collision Cup Championship Series. We are going to two very different tracks tonight, folks. That's right. Our first track is going to be Atlanta. That's right. The Dirty Birdie, folks. That's right. Old Ricky's been known to A-Town stomp once or twice in his days. And then after that, folks, we're going to take it down to Pocono, or I should say up to Pocono, into the mountains to the Tricky Triangle, where we will get it on. Folks, tonight's race, as always, is brought to you by the A&D Collision folks down in Hazlet, Michigan. We would like to thank them for their continued sponsorship and support to Thrill Nation Autosports. And if you are down in the Hazlet, Michigan area, head on down there with your banged up, bumped up, bruised up car, and they will take great care of you. And if you take a look at their social media, you can see some of the excellent restorations they've done recently. Hand painted, folks. That's right. No wraps at A&D Collision. We do it the right way. We'd also like to give a big shout out to one of our longtime sponsors, Milk. That's right, folks. All of Milk sponsors us. Doesn't matter if it's 1%, 2%, whole skim, oat, coconut. If you can make milk out of it, it sponsors us. Folks, the drivers are in qualifying right now, and we will return in just a moment to get the race started. Folks, let me know if you can hear old Ricky all right. Folks, get ready because we are going green at Atlanta in just a moment. I want to thank all of the folks here who have come on out to the race tonight here in the chat. Old Ricky appreciates it. I want you to pour yourself a nice cold glass of milk or a nice cold gin rummy and enjoy the show tonight. That's right, folks. Gin rummy. That's one of Old Ricky's favorite adult beverages, so make sure you're 21 plus of age. It's half a glass of gin, half a glass of whiskey. That's right. And if you're looking for the right rum to use, make sure you use Rubberburn rum. Did Ricky say whiskey? He's had a few. We started the show off early. The race has started, folks, so we will be joining under green. Grab your disciple we will ride along with. It's his first week back here for the A&D Collision Cup. He missed the opening week of the season. We're happy to see you back, Grav, as he battles for third place too wide. Let's see now. Who do we have here in the lead? Looks like it's Preds 22 who swept the field and swept the races last week. He is absolutely pulling away here. Down the back stretch, he roars him at 88. The field absolutely battling it out behind him. That's what happens here at Atlanta. This is a track where you can really put your foot down and go for the front. J-Rad's party, I'm going to tell you what, you want to crack open a nice cold beverage that's a bear. Oh, Ricky's not going to shame you. Does he think you have less class? Yes. Does he think that you're a bad person? Probably. But he's not going to shame you for it. As we follow along with Perez, still in the lead here, we look more to the back of the pack. We see downtown in the 20, racing along here behind the 49 of Perez and the 53 of Hip XX. Earlier, we didn't know if Hip was going to make it into the race. His car was leaking some sort of brown fluid out of the rear end all over pit road. But it looks like that team has figured that out and got him back on track. Behind downtown is the number 3 of Bump and Run, as we see him trying to make a run now off of 3 and 4 to the tricky start-finish line section of this track. And he'll fall in line back behind downtown. Folks, it's been an action-packed week of racing here at Thrill Nation Autosports. We started the week off strong on Tuesday with our Thrill Nation Cup Series. We saw Funkmaster Trout take a win at Atlanta, and we saw a NASCAR fan take a win at Pocono. On Wednesday, we had our Milk Truck Series. That's right, folks, Milk sponsors us. We have a truck series named after them. Oh, as we see the 3 and the 49 get into each other. The 3 down into the grass. The 49. Oh, the 3's down into the pits backwards. It looks like we are still under green, however. Tough break there. Then we see the 9 start to scrape the wall just a bit. The 20 ducking out underneath the 22. There's a little bit of mayhem going on here in the back of this pack. We know the 49 is now carrying a little bit of damage from that impact. As we follow along with Team Penske, league favorite. As he battles with Woolly Night Owl in the 42, he looks to get a run off of turn 2. Down the backstretch he roars. Falling into line, trying to make a pass. These high-speed corners are not always easy to get a pass done in, folks. You're going into them at such a high rate of speed that if you have to let off the gas even just a bit, you will fall out of line, and you want to stay in that draft as much as possible at a track like this. As we cycle through the field, we look back to the front of the pack, and we see Perez with his teammate at 99XX Beatty right behind him. They are at least 6, 7, 8 car lengths away from the next cars in 3rd and 4th as they storm around the track. Bump and Run all by himself after that big wreck. It looks like he did get the damage fixed on that car, however, so he may have somewhat of an advantage when all the other cars have to pit. This is for X-Ware, folks, so there will be quite a few green flag pit stops. 14 laps remaining in the stage. as they storm down the backstretch. Oh, Petey riding the tail of his teammate, Perez 22. Not looking to race them too hard here as they have quite the advantage. We see our first few cars ducking down to pit lane. Excuse me, folks. Oh, Ricky there had a moment. Didn't put any ice in this glass. Looks like Penske there, slow down the backstretch. Not sure what happened to him. Not sure if that was him trying to safely pit. We see Tag in the pits. Along with Uptown, Team Penske slowly rolling around the corner. Not quite sure exactly what he's doing. He looks like he may have missed pit road already. No, he's still in the corner here, trying to figure out exactly where Penske's going. We'll follow along. This is unprecedented from Penske. Not sure if maybe he might be out of gas, folks. That could explain the slow speeds towards pit road. I believe Penske is out of fuel. Down to pit road he goes. As we see some of the other cars starting to leave pit road, we'll see Bump going for a stop as we watch Grav, Uptown, and the number 4 of Uptown. Oh, sorry, folks. That is Uptown that we're watching along with now. We follow along with KSI Ezra, team owner of Jedi Motorsports. As he comes into turns 1 and 2, a little bit of damage on the front of his car, but that's going to happen here at Atlanta. High speed restarts, high speed corners. Noses are going to get a little turned up like a boarding school in Nebraska. HipXX coming back onto the track from his pit stop now. Graveyard able to make a mess. As we follow along now with Perez 22, it looks like OB's going to try and race him towards the end of this stage. Both of them with banged up noses as well. Ain't got no gas in it, he says. I believe that was an update in the chat from Penske about his situation of why he was running down slow. That was what we predicted, and it looks like it has now been confirmed in chat. Penske was out of fuel. Across the line they go. Perez holding Petey off now. It looks like that's Tag in third place, chasing him down by quite a few car lengths. That would make 1, 2, 3 99 XX cars in the top 3 positions, looking for another strong finish tonight. Laps remaining in stage 1, folks, as they turn into 3 and 4. It'll be 7 to go next time across the line. Folks, with just a few laps left here, as we follow along with this battle of the leader and second place teammate, we want to thank another one of our sponsors, and that is the Gambling Hotline, folks. That's right. If you've got a problem or know somebody who has a problem with gambling, get in touch with the Gambling Hotline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's right, folks. If you're slick and tired of messing your life up, we want you to get help. And we saw a pass for the lead as Perez got into the wall just a bit, and OP was able to take over. Six laps to go as they storm down the backstretch. Into 3 and 4, can Preds close the gap back up on OPD, his teammate. and get back to the front after leading much of this stage. We follow along now with a few cars tighter back in the pack. That's Tag in the 9 up top, Downtown in the 20, Uptown, Watkins in the 78, and the 4. Oh, this is Downtown in the 20 and Uptown in the 4. They confuse the hell of old Ricky after a few drinks. Across the start finish line of Downtown getting into Uptown getting into Downtown. That's right, folks. I'm not giving you directions to old Ricky's penthouse. I'm just saying what's happening in the race. As we see, Tag lost a position to Watkins up top there. That pick up that position. As we follow along with them now. Uptown and Downtown still behind. Up front, we've got OPD and Preds. Behind Uptown is going to be Graveyard and Hip XX. As they storm down the backstretch, the leader's not even in sight now. Absolutely gone for the rest of this field after the green flag pit stops. Across the start finish line they go. Into turns 1 and 2 with just 2 laps remaining in the stage. Down the backstretch they roar. We will go to our leaders and see if this battle has tightened up just a bit, and it looks like it just might with a lap to go. As they cross the line, the white flag is in the air. OPD into 1 and 2. Reds behind them. Teammates storming down the track. It looks like Perez just isn't going to have enough to catch up to OPD here in 3 and 4 and make a pass. So let's go back in the field here. We've got quite the mix-up going on. It looks like HibXXL has gone into the battle. He's on the outside of Tag as they go into 3 and 4 with the on the final lap of stage 1. Watkins leads them all. Uptown behind. And across the line they come. Looks like Watkins is going to take third place. Uptown 4th. HibXX in 5th. Tag in 6th. Possibly Grav in 7th. And Downtown in 8th. And it was going to be OPD who took the stage with his teammate. And last week's double winner, Perez behind it. Folks, we're taking a stage break here. We want to thank another one of our sponsors and one of their employees. That's right, folks. I'm talking about Roy Nemi of A&D Collision down in Hazlet, Michigan. Oh, Roy's CEO of the company. He tells everybody what to do, and when he tells them what to do, he tells them what to do right, because he's never been wrong. And I know that because I've personally worked for Roy for 10 years, folks, back in the day. And I can tell you that I've never had a better boss. The man wakes up every single day and pisses excellence. Thanks for all that you do, Roy. Let's start the second stage. And also, let's take a look at our schedule coming up for the next few weeks. Next week, we go to Texas and Martinsville, and then a week after that, it's going to be Las Vegas in the road course Sonoma. The week after that, we go to Kansas and Dover, and following that, we will have our Indy race in Bristol. Tune in for all those exciting races coming up in the future, folks. Old Ricky's gonna give you a chance to crank it up here for the start of stage 2. That's right, I'm gonna go refill my glass and let you listen to the roar of these TNA cars. And we are back to the action, folks, as we follow along with Hip 6. Looks like that oil leak he had earlier is sorting itself out as he runs up there in 5th place. Behind him is the 8 car of Waffle Wins. Haven't seen much of Waffle tonight. Nice to see him up there battling in the top back as he dives underneath, but can't make the pass on Hip. He'll slip back into the draft. Grab in front of Hip. OBD in front of Grav. And the 88 of Perez leading the way with Uptown right behind him. We will again see green flag stops should this stage stay green, which will mix up this field even more than it already is, as we see a pack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars breaking away from the rest of the pack. Oh, Ricky hasn't had to count that fast since the side of the road in Mississippi was. Oh, they get into each other. The 49 is going to get into the 53 of Hip 6 as he was bounced off of. Now the 49 gets into another car up there. We see Hip way out of it now as the field continues on. Green flag remains out. Tough break for last year's champion, Hip 6. Perez continues to lead the field after that kerfuffle. Their lead pack of 6 has now just fallen to 3. 299 XX drivers and the 4 of Uptown. A solo driver for Sloth Racing right now, up in the top 3. Going to be a very good year for team rivalries this year. We've got the established teams of Flatwoods Racing that boast the regular season champion of last year's Cups championship, Graveyard, and also Watkins, who was very solid all year last year until Graveyard snuck up on him at the end of the season. We've got Sloth Racing run by Got the Vid, who's got Hilo, a very promising talent coming up from last year's Xfinity Series, and also Uptown, who we follow along with in 3rd place currently. We've also got 99XX, which features our leader, Perez 22, and our 2nd place car, OPD, who currently have a lead in the team standings for the A&D Cup Championship with a win of 2 races last week by Preds. And they will look to keep that going. We've also got the one-man team of KSI Ezra, as Uptown looks like he may have gotten into the wall or a bit loose there, getting off of turn 2. The one-man team of KSI Ezra, Jedi Motorsports, racing for himself on his own money, with his own equipment. What a champion. Oh, as the 3 bump and run, looks like he got turned there trying to get into pit road. It looks like he'll straight out, hopefully not taking on too much damage he'll have to fix during this pit stop. We see the leaders, Preds, and the number 4 of Uptown now in the pits. 12 laps remaining in the stage. The field will now mix up during these flags. So we've got the 8 into the wall in the pits. We've got a couple other cars getting sideways. There's the 3 getting a lick back as he scrapes into tag. They are monsters on pit road. There goes Watkins into the 22 of Penske, wrecking him. We've got a car doing about a 700 miles off of pit road. This is absolute mayhem, folks. As we continue on, Preds coming out of pit road now. We will stick with him as he will be the leader as this green flag pit stop cycle continues on. Confirmed in the chat that Roy is a great boss. Shout out to Roy, folks. If you didn't get to see handsome Roy Mimi the A&D Employee of the Week. We'll bring him up here again as we follow along with Preds, because let's just face it, folks, Roy's a lot more handsome than Preds. They don't call Preds Handsome Preds. They call Roy Handsome Roy. Back to the action, folks. Beatty now back up behind his teammate of Perez, with the 4 of Uptown chasing along in 3rd place. We will cycle through the field here and take a look at Bump and Run. He's had quite a tough night. He's been bumped and hasn't looked like he's had much of a chance to run. Still in a position to score a few stage points here, it appears, as a pack of 4 chases down that one-man team of KSI, Urza, and Jedi Motorsports. Into turn 3 and 4 they go. Bump and Run making a move underneath Penske. Penske looking not to give it up. Bump gets on the apron just a bit, which gives Penske a chance to make a run here down the front stretch to get that spot back, and he will look underneath. Holding it with a hard run goes Penske into the turn. He will stay underneath Bump and Run. He will chase down Teg. They are fighting for position as Penske looks to finish this pass off on Bump and Run. He'll need a little bit of that draft there from Teg, and it looks like it's going to help him out. Oh, I was just about to bring him up, folks. You may have noticed that our camera work has been a lot better this week. We've not had any stalling in the cameras during the corners. We've not had any, as some would say, aloof, possibly on narcotics views happening, and that's because we did relegate Don down to our milk truck series, as we see Penske getting up into the wall there. We did relegate Don down to the milk truck series to do the camera work down there until he can get his shit together, because quite frankly, old Ricky was befuddled. After the race last week, old Ricky went and found Don down at pit road, and we exchanged some words. Ricky may have slapped his mouth, and you know what? I'm not proud of that, folks. But let's just face it. Don had it coming for the bullshit he was pulling last week. Yeah, I don't want to get back into it. You know what? There's lawsuits going on. I may have actually said too much, folks. Back to the race as we follow along with Bump and Run, Woolly Night Owl, and Teg Draken. OBD continuing to push Perez around in 1st and 2nd as they are chasing down Hip XX, who had a little bit of trouble earlier on. Just 2 laps remaining in the stage as they come to the line to take the white flag, folks. There it is, the white flag for stage 2. OBD versus Preds. Teammate on teammate action. Will OBD go for a pass here to try and make it 2 stages in a row? Will Preds give him an opportunity? Down the backstretch they roar. Preds blocking low. PD looking up high. He's going to keep his foot in it. He's going to try and get a run out of turn 3 and 4. He wants 2 stage wins. It looks like it's not going to happen. As they come to the line, it's going to be Preds 22 with the stage win, and old Petey behind it. It's like further back in the back, it's going to be Bump and Run coming across the line with Graveyard Disciple. I believe KSI Urza may have led that pack of these cars in. We will get a look at the standings right now. It was Perez, it was Petey, it was Uptown, KSI Urza, Waffle wins, rounding out the top 5. Nice to see Waffle was able to stick it out there, folks. Get himself a top 5. Folks, as always, we want to thank our sponsors here on Caution Flag, and one of our main sponsors, Milk. We can't thank you enough. I've got a milk mustache right now, that's right. I've moved on from gin rummies to a big old glass of ice milk. There's nothing that follows a glass of gin and a glass of rum better than a glass of milk. We also want to thank A&D Collision down in Hazlet, Michigan. That's right, folks. The name of the series, A&D Collision Cup. They are our primary sponsor, and we cannot thank them enough for all that they do for us here at Thrill Nation Autosports. We are lined up 2 by 2 to start the 3rd stage, and the green flag is down, and across the start-finish line they go. It's going to be Preds and Petey leading them into 1 and 2. Graveyard and a few other cars here getting into it, going into 1 and 2. Coming out of 2, it's going to be Preds leading again as KSI Urza follows Petey along for 3rd place. They'll look to separate quickly as they have earlier in this race. Uptown saying not so fast with Hip XX following along behind him. Tank wants to get back into the battle with that number 9 Hooters car. Looks like we've got an A&D Collision fan in the chat. Shout out to you, J-Rad's Party. Next time you get yourself into a little fender bender leaving the pub a bit late, head on down to A&D Collision. As for Handsome Roy, 25 laps remaining in this race as they storm down the backstretch. This Atlanta track is hot and fast, and let me tell you folks, Ricky knows a thing about hot and fast, and that's, I didn't work at a fast food restaurant, let me tell you, but I did sop up some grease with some buns, if you get what I'm saying. Let's get back to the action. Preds down the backstretch. Leading a line of cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 towards the start-finish line. Here comes old Petey trying to make a move for first place now. He said, I follow along behind you enough, brother. I'm ready to go. That's gonna hang Perez on the outside out of the draft. We'll see if any of the other cars go with him. KSI behind Perez. Uptown behind Petey. Hip XX trying to figure out which line to go on. We've all been there before, Hip. Let me tell you, at least Ricky has, especially down here in Atlanta. KSI throwing a block down on Hip as they go down the front stretch. All of these cars bunched together now. Absolutely chaotic until 1 and 2 they go. 21 laps remaining. We see one get up into the wall that looked like OPD. We see another one get up into the wall that looked like KSI as Perez storms away. KSI dropping to the bottom of the track, trying to storm back up to the field and use the draft of the 3 cars in front of him. Down to the inside, tries to go Hip. He sticks a nose underneath Uptown. It doesn't work. Uptown stays strong now. Uptown up to the lead after riding around in third for the last few laps. He's been strong all night in both stages before this, and now he says, I want to go. Perez ducks in behind him with no space between him and Hip, but makes it work. Folks, this is the action that we come for. Third stage. Across the line they go. Perez fighting for the lead now underneath the 4 of Uptown. Petey behind the 4. He's trying to get down to his teammate, no doubt, so that he can push him, and he just about does now. The 37 of Petey pushing his teammate, the 88 of Perez, with the 53 of Hip. Sloth Motorsports now. 2 cars for Sloth, 2 cars for 99XX. And KSIers, the lone wolf of Jedi Motorsports, are right behind him saying, hey, you know what? We've only got 1 car, but we've got 1 good driver too. The 88 of Perez now fighting against his teammate Petey hard. He said, I've followed along all race. We're gonna go for it now. I wonder if Funkmaster has given them team orders to say, hey, go for it. Or if this is going to cause some sort of rift in the team. Knowing Funk, I bet you he told his drivers, go for it. What's that? Our producer Kim actually just fed us some inside information that team owner Funkmaster Trout offered a $5 gift card if a 99XX driver can win a race tonight to their favorite local coffee shop. So these two are going to battle it out for that coffee, I'm sure. Oh, we've got a wreck up here now. 3-4 cars into the wall. We've got 3, the 9, the 42, the 8, plenty of cars. It looks like no caution's going to come out. Wow, that's a lot of cars. Looks like Penske may have disconnected from the race. Tag is absolutely smashed up. No caution comes out, folks. That's sort of a rule here at TNA. Unless we see a driver's body on the ground, we don't really like to throw the caution very much. Looks like we got Woolly Night Owls slow on the track. May just still be getting on from that wreck. And I believe OPD is the leader now. I'm wondering if Perez made an early pit stop, as there was going to need to be green flag pit stops, and he is in the pits. We will see how this plays out. It is now going to become a pit strategy race as we see OPD diving in. Hip XX stays out a little bit longer. He'll be the furthest one out now. How much time can he put on the other cars in order to make it so that they cannot catch up to him? Down the backstretch, we follow the leader of Hip XX. He'll need to pit soon, absolutely sure. And it seems like he is slowing down now and getting down to the apron. He will be going down pit road now. Oh, and he clips the wall going in. He almost drives out of the pits. I hope that didn't do any damage to him. If he's got to get that fixed, it will definitely slow him down getting out of the pits. And if he doesn't fix it, it's going to mess up the aerodynamics. And it looks like he did have a little bit of damage there on the front bumper. You hate to see it for a race leader Hip, who has worked so hard to get back up there. All right. Theoretically, our second place car should be Perez X22 as he storms down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Will we see Hip get out of the pits with enough time to make a run? No, we see Hip coming out of the pits right now as Perez clears him with quite a few seconds. This may have been the wrong pit strategy for Hip. We'll see how it plays out in the end in the long run. MXU fan, do remind old Ricky what your challenge was from last week. I do remember you putting a challenge out to old Ricky, and I forgot to respond to it. Please refresh my mind. You know I've had a few gimlets of gin rummies tonight. Help me out. MSU fan, let me tell you something. Old Ricky spent some time down in the QAW, that's right, Quarantine Action Wrestling, where he was known as a champion in his time there a few times. And a steel cage match is nothing at all that scares me. I've battled into the depths of hell against some of the biggest men in the world, and let me just tell you something, MSU fan. It would not go well for you, chump. Back to the racing. Ricky doesn't like to bring that side out of him. Sorry about that, folks. I do apologize. We love our fans, and we would never get into a physical altercation with them ever. MSU fan says that he will put his belt on the line, but considering he's a Michigan State fan, I'm going to consider he doesn't even know what a championship belt is. Back to the racing, folks. Reds 22 leading. Here comes Hip with the big run. Maybe that pitch strategy will work out for him. Woolly Night Owl in the mix. He may be a lap down, folks. The 88 and the 53 now battling for the lead. Side by side into turn 1 and 2. Folks, we will be back in just a second for our second race at Pocono, the Tricky Triangle. Go grab a snack or a drink and come on back and meet us right here for more thrilling TNA action soon. Folks, we will return for racing shortly after 8:55 p.m. Eastern. So go grab yourselves a snack and a drink and meet us back here at just a little bit after 8:55 p.m.